Whoa. Well, good evening, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, you know this does not work without you guys. Man, you know, you hear about things that happen, but if it doesn't affect you directly, you kind of meh. You don't know until you've been through something traumatic, okay? I've been through rebuilding houses in New Orleans after Katrina. I've been twice to Puerto Rico helping to rebuild houses from the hurricane that hit there. In Florida. Can't remember the name of the city, but we went from Miami through the Florida Everglades to a town that was a sugarcane town that had been hit by a hurricane several years before, and they still had the blue tarps on top of them that were literally disintegrated and dry rotted from the sun. I've seen schools in Detroit where the gymnasium roof had holes that you could see through. And it's easy for me to say these things, but unless you are one of those people, you don't understand. When you had a hurricane like Sandy that came through, you don't feel it until you get a hurricane that's in Houston. And all of a sudden now it's your house that's flooded and inundated. Now all of a sudden you understand what it's like. And right now, most of the people in Texas never understood what it's like to have major snowstorms and what it's like to be without power and things, and maybe couldn't really sympathize with somebody else's plight. But now it's hitting home, and now it's like, oh my God, what do we do? And I feel for everybody in Texas right now, because there's a lot of you right now that are there without power. My man Voch Lombardi, Miss Jackie was able to get in touch with him and found out that he's been without power for 2 days. And he ain't the only one. There's millions of people that are literally without power, without heat, without water, that've got damage to their house, broken pipes and things, you know, fighting for survival. And it's hard. It's hard to go through something like that. What you need to try and do, this is the time when America at least used to be America. When something tragic like 9/11 happens, that the country would come together and put aside differences and try to get solutions. And see, this is where we are right now with all this stuff from 2020 carrying over to 2021. This is time for all of us. This is the time, this is the moment to stop saying enough of the stupid ass bullshit. Let's fix shit together for everybody, so everybody has a chance. Let's stop pointing fingers and saying it's their fault, it's your fault. Listen, sometimes you got to look inside and say, I fucked up, I screwed up, but here's what I'm going to do to fix it. All I keep hearing is this. In the meantime, we got people without power, people that are hurting, people that need help. And this shit just drives me the hell crazy, batshit crazy. I will try and do anything I can to help somebody. And I don't understand why people aren't like that anymore. I don't know if it's just because I'm old, but everybody's in their own little world. I hope that from hopefully this last storm that's down there, man, that I hope it gets out of there quickly. I hope the temperatures start warming up, thawing out the gas lines and stuff so they can get the enough electricity flowing for everybody, We got to do better. We got to do better. Together we rise, separated we'll all fall. Whew. Makes me almost not even want to talk about football. You know, it's times like this that you realize what's important. Having a roof over your head, having something to eat, and can stay warm. Having family and people that care about you. Everything else is gravy. That's what you need in life to make it. We have so many things now. So many things that we couldn't even dream about as a kid. We didn't have electronic games. We didn't have power scooters, you know, or whatever whatever those things are. Or we didn't have the internet. Hell, growing up in my house, we didn't have AC. I hear kids today say, oh, it's too hot to go outside. We went outside because it was cooler outside than in the house. You know, as a kid, I remember we used to play Army. We didn't have the toy guns, okay? We didn't have the toy guns like kids have now. We had, you know, a big field that was out there growing up. And we used to get clumps of dirt. And we'd play Army. So you got a bunch of guys on this side. It's not like paintball today. See, y'all got paintball and screens and, you know, covers where you're protected. You know, you get hit by a paintball, bam, okay, you're out. No, we took clumps of dirt and we would throw the clumps of dirt, and when they hit the ground, they were hand grenades. And we relied on, oh, I got you. Okay, he's out. But the funny thing is as crazy as that sounds, without us having all of the benefits of having, you know, 500 television stations, having YouTube and Instagram, and can easily talk to anybody right there in the world with your cell phone that's got all this knowledge. It seemed like in those simpler times that we as kids and people were happier. I honestly believe that. And maybe I'm old and relying on nostalgia, but remembering going to my grandma's house where they didn't have a whole lot of grass and we're playing football in the street, you know. Go past the Chevy and turn right, I'm gonna hit you. And hope that a car's not coming down the street as you're in the middle of the play. My friend Craig Little, who's no longer around, him and I going in the backyard, throwing the football, and he's swinging, bam, just playing catch. Having a sled with metal runners you know, with the steering rack on it. Finding a big hill and just riding down. Simple things, man. They were great. And when something happened to a neighbor, you were there for them. Everybody in the community would look out for them. Everybody, knew their neighbors. You didn't have to lock your doors. You could trust people. Every time I think things are getting better, it just seems to be just more. I apologize that, you know, this is not uplifting and things. You want to help, but there's nothing you can do from here. The storm will pass. It'll warm up. And like America always has done, we will get through. Praying for all of us. All of us. Tomorrow's another day, and may it be a better one for all of you.